Hey everybody, it's Pixel's Final Fantasy VII LP with Pixel, of course.
Hello.
Me, Ryushikaze, Carlie.
Hello.
Soak.
Hey.
And Kassi.
Hey.
We're looking for Sephiroth, and Cloud is having a migraine.
So it's been a while.
Things usually go related to each other.
It's been a while since we've done one of these LPs.
You know, I have that noise during my existential crises too.
Really? I tend to hear it whoop, whoop, whoop. But, you know, that's mostly because my existential crises happen in trance clubs. I don't know why. So, usually that whoop, whoop is accompanied by a
I think that's enough.
I don't go to trance clubs most.
Unless I'm mistaken, that's the point of trance clubs.
Yeah.
Existential crises.
You go and you have trendy existential crises.
See, now, if Gaia had had trance clubs, he could have had his existential crisis much, much earlier.
Oh, yes. And much, much more stylishly.
And with maybe a smaller body count. Oh!
No, it's a trance club. It would have been a larger one.
Oh, true. Because seriously, kids, MDMA, lack of oxygen, not good.
Yeah, that shell there can be disorienting.
The more you know. Yes.
Really? Yeah, let's look at this. Like,
I got so lost on that shell, and in the climbing, this part,
I'm still disappointed.
I think I actually one time stopped and looked on the internet about how to get around that shell.
That's what we all do. That's what this is for.
Not all of us. Some of us stole our friends' strategy guides to doing. This was before the internet.
Yeah. And there was once where it had been a few years since I played this game, and I was like on the verge of throwing a controller. And I was like, I don't remember. I remember I worked this out before, I just don't remember. And especially this part here. I'm like, mazes, and I keep getting hit. Really, seriously, this guy is not encountering as many enemies as I did.
He's cutting them all out.
Oh.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I did think
Clever.
I'm bad. I was 7 and I couldn't get up the stairs in the Mako reactor, the first one, and the PlayStation wasn't even mine, it was my cousin, and I threw the controller to the floor, and I said, "What the hell with this shit?" Exactly like that. My aunt is like, "You should not be saying that stuff, you're too young." Like, I'm not playing this again.
I think I've related this story possibly on the LP before, but my first Final Fantasy experience was the original Final Fantasy. I did not get very far.
Yeah. Especially if you're not savvy to the respond rate selection in the menu, which was my problem originally.
Well, I mean, I was, let's see, 3 when it came out. I think I was 5-ish when I played it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played Final Fantasy 4. We got it as 2, and that was the first one I beat.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I remember abusing the strategy guide for the original Final Fantasy a lot, like throwing it a lot. and I appreciate printed things, so for me to want to beat the shit out of a strategy guide for Final Fantasy, I sure did.
yeah.
I used the hell out of my strategy guide. It by about 2 years ago, it was sort of just falling apart, so I had to buy a new one, just the binding.
Yeah. No, I've had a number of strategy guides in my day. A lot of them I buy just for the artwork. I mean, literally, I bought one for a game that I'd already beaten because I liked some of the nifty artwork. Up, we just had a battle.
Yeah. The
Speedies
footprints
go away.
You know, in boxing up my house and cleaning it out, I found my Yoshitaka Amano art books, and then also the Art of Final Fantasy IX, which I forgot that I owned.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
I
was
have
looking
that one.
at that.
I had forgotten that I owned it, and I looked at it, I was just like, wow.
It's really expensive on. I was looking at it on Amazon. It's actually pretty expensive. I can't remember exactly how much it was.
Because it was like $15 when I got it, I think. It was not very much. And it's got some beautiful art.
Yeah.
It does. It sure does. I enjoyed it a great deal.
Which Amano books do you have?
I've got Dawn, and I remember Dawn clearer than the other one. There's
Dawn's the one I have. And then I've just got a bunch of random stuff that he's done work in, like all of the Vampire Hunter D books.
Oh, Amano did.
Yeah.
Because my late husband, his roommate, was huge into Vampire Hunter D. Like, huge. And I don't think they ever realized that Yoshitaka Amano...
Yeah.
A common artist among the two of them. Vampire Hunter... Really?
Yeah, if you see the new releases of the novels, they explicitly, it's on the cover, it's his art, it says his name.
Ooh.
Yes.
This is that time to make a joke about her hair. This is way too long.
I don't think you can make a joke about her hair. I mean, it's like Pringles. You can't just make one.
No. No, seriously, because when I had hair that long, everyone would stop me and say, "How do you poop?"
What?
The hair eats it.
Right. Do you have to... And I was just like...
It goes in front, you know.
Right, and I'd had hair that long, like, I didn't have my hair cut until I was 30. And so I would just automatically swing it out as I sat down. So there's the secret for you.
Yeah.
And you can cut this out in the final edit.
I do.
Because it's disgusting.
We will never cut it out. In fact, we must make even more disgusting comments about her hair and the 6 sex acts she and Gas get up to with it.
Yeah, that's what these
He
cameras
uses
are
it to
for.
tie her down.
I was just gonna say that.
Oh, man.
Didn't we joke last time about the cameras being on the...
Oh, yes. Yes, we
Ouch.
did.
Yeah.
No, the
The
funny
ri-
thing is that when you have hair that long, all the guys that want to do you are all vanilla.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I've had long hair and I've had short hair. And when I have short hair, that's when the kinky guys come out of the woodwork. Just so you know.
Interesting.
The ones who would tie you to the bedpost with your hair if you had hair long enough. Except that if you had hair long enough, they wouldn't want to do you anymore, apparently.
It's just weird, because, I mean, I can sort of maybe see that, because the short hair is more of an indication that you might be into the kinky things, the guys who are into the kinky things.
Yeah.
Is the vanilla, but yeah. All of the women I've known with really long hair have been into kinky things, so...
Yeah, I was, but nobody really was willing to go far enough with me. They were like, "Oh, you've never cut your hair. You must still be tethered to your mother," in some that's like metaphoric, and I'm not responding to in a way that I'm.
Fucked up.
So I'll tell you what weapon is. Weapon is the new position that they made to show these off with these cameras.
That's how Aerith came to be.
Yep. Oh yeah, she's a product of Weapon. They weaponed all night long. No, the Weapon was not a weapon. Weapon was a gardening tool.
I really do like these scenes though between Gast and Ifalna.
Yeah. I've been reading and participating in the spork of the terrible Mary Sue, Sephiroth's slave, her nonsense. So much, like, watching these has reminded me of just how badly she screwed up canon, and the fact that she must have never seen these to learn what Gast says about, Genova, or Gast and Ifalna say about Genova and all of the things there, and how, spoilers for like 10 minutes in the future, Gast dies. Because Gast is there and kicking 22 years later.
I'm pretty sure Weapon is in your pants.
And it's really fascinating that he and Ifalna kind of like fled to the Northern Wastes, but he's still continuing his scientific research, so he's driven by this desire for knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
And yet, at the same time, he's more driven by his relationship for her, because he does, like, stop when she says stop.
Yes.
No means no, Robo Baby. And they do. And I love that. And then Hojo
Confidential.
Well, yeah, what are you doing, Professor?
What are you doing, Professor Honey?
Yeah, he's thinking
Professor
about
Honey Butts.
What's your girlfriend?
I'm going
Professor Honey Glutes.
Did you see that? It went from I'm going to tape this to I'm going to tape my beautiful daughter.
Yes.
So you know that was the in between.
My dad's a doctor, and he, had very similar records of early Kassi like this.
Yeah. My dad was just obsessed with a video camera, and so there's amazing records of us as kids.
Don't wash. That's actually not an option. That's the name of the video.
Yeah, don't watch. It's their kinky sex tape.
Oh my god, I would watch that. Pixelated. I mean, I played Conker's Bad.
Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Yes, with the bee and the flower and Conker tilting his head and going, "Oh, that's not right." No.
Yeah, that's not right.
Moment.
Did you ever see the manga Moral Crisis, the doujinshi, where Aerith starts working for the Honeybee Inn?
Oh.
It's so hilarious and out of character, but it's she starts working to try and make off the money that Elmira owes, and yeah.
Oh my god.
Hard hog.
I love that part of the game, though, like, more and more as I get older. Just the things that people say of, like, oh my god, well, Tifa's your childhood friend, and you brought Aerith here? You sick like,
hey,
I like how they were interrupting the private time.
Private time.
Yeah. No, you should say Ifalna, because that's her name.
Ifalna, yes.
Or Susan, because Ifalna is a silly name.
And Susan is a lovely name.
And just like Aerith's real name is Nancy.
Susan was the name of the doctor's granddaughter in An Unearthly Child.
Yep.
And, oh, yes. Susan Foreman.
Uh-huh.
Oh, don't worry, guys. They're severing all ties with you, too.
Mostly they're severing you.
On your knees.
And if Ilfana sure knows how to beg.
Do what you want to me. Take me now.
just get a
You've
little
got your
closer
soldiers.
to
Just run a
it.
train.
I get the feeling that Hojo needs everyone for his experiment. Just from, like, this plus Crisis Core, he's like, ooh, you are an experimental subject. That's just how he views the world. Through.
Oh, yes. He's very much like Frank Infurter. He is also a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
Frankenfurter, it's all over. Your mission is a failure.
Okay, apparently destroying the camera didn't destroy the audio.
Yep. Well, no, they could have destroyed the lens, but not the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and these sex tapes. I'll take those.
Oh yeah, mountain of treasure indeed.
Kabow, bow.